Good morning. Let's take a look at some pre-market runners. IMNN. Huge runner. Amazing move. Pretty incredible. This is perfect for the algo. So what do we have here? This is a phase 2 trial. An annual meeting presentation highlighting unprecedented survival rate from phase 2 trial. Nice. So they're talking about a trial they did in a presentation. Good enough to pump it. That's what we like to see. 160% move already in pre-market. Pretty incredible. Pretty low float on that. Let's take a peek at the daily chart. Huge pop right here. Let's put a line on that. Gotta have our resistance levels so we know where the key levels are. There's only one. There is only one, and it's pretty far away. Very interesting. Best case scenario for a short is if we go over that level. Pretty far away, though. I don't think you can make it all the way up there. Pretty much move is already done for the pre-market long. Can't be chasing it up here, so that's going to be pretty much done except for any short selling. Let's see. Let me put this on the watch. Got to keep an eye on that one. IMNN. Done. All right, BLMZ is the next one. This was a runner the other day, and that was a perfect short right there. All day fade. Beautiful move there. Right off the 10 a.m. short. We like the 10 a.m. short, gap and grab. Favorite setup. But now it's coming back up, so this is really threatening to do some kind of breakout. After a push like this, pull back, high or low, it potentially could fade again, but it's more trappy. You've got a lot more people short, maybe trying to swing this back to nothing, potentially. Although I don't know what the fees would be like on that. But obvious key level right here, right around 39, 38 cents. That is the breakout level. So the only way I would short this is if it breaks out of that and then fails. So definitely worth a watch on that one. Let's see, who do I get rid of for this one? This looks really good. I guess let's get rid of this mid cap. NVTS. Let's just take a look at this really quick before I get rid of it. Now this one's more of a mid cap. Morning, Scotty. And I'm not a fan of the mid cap, so they can be very good though. I will keep it on watch. Let me put it on the back burner. Watch NVTS. Might be something there later. Yeah, so let's put on BLMZ. Add that to the watch. So again, we want to break out over 38 cents. We want it to break out. It's already tested that level once. It wants to get back up there today. So if anything, it's probably long. Excuse me. It looks like a decent long right here. Nice pullback, holding right here, reclaiming a moving average. You know, that looks like it wants to get to 38 cents. Ideally for the short, it goes over 38 cents. So the long and short idea kind of align. Best case for the short is if it gets over 38 cents and fails. So we'll keep an eye on that. It's a little bit cheap, but if it's over 30 cents, I'll try it. A lot of large caps breaking UTLs. Yeah, I did see that. There's a lot of them. Some kind of news this morning. I'll take a look at those in a minute. Let's see here. Eno. This one is a smaller gapper. Maybe something, we'll keep an eye on it. Not up very much right now. LTRY, this one was a breakout yesterday, this morning. So, pretty impressive move higher 2 days ago. Sideways consolidation yesterday into a beautiful breakout. Big, beautiful breakout. Trump passing the big, beautiful bill recently, so that could spark some small cap momentum. If there's anything related to that, they might try to latch onto that as a catalyst to pump their stocks. LTRY, breakout pullback on the breakout level. Not the best breakout level. The breakout's really up here. So typically with these breakouts, you want to see a test of the breakout, and then on the second try it wants to come through. So we'll see if LTRY wants to break out. That looks pretty nice. Huge potential breakout right there. Gonna have to prove itself. And again, if the breakout fails, it's probably a good short. Definitely worth a watch. Throw that on the watch list for sure. Okay, nothing else on the gappers. Nothing else. Let's take a look at the big caps. So Tesla's still consolidating sideways on the bigger picture. This is still a big flag. It's a huge flag. And last time, it's really following the same exact pattern from the last flag. So it's about 9 or 10 trading day flag, and then it broke out. And this time around, what do we have? Let's see. Same thing, pretty much. We're on day 8 of the flag. So day 9 or 10, maybe it'll break out. Not an exact science, but yeah, you can't deny that that pattern looks pretty much the same from these two flags. It even had the failed breakout maneuver right towards the end of the flag. So, failed breakout, pulled back to the lows, and then it did a double bottom, and then it broke out. Had to shake everybody out first before the real breakout happened. They, them like to do that. So again, a couple days ago, we had this failed breakout attempt. Breakout attempt failed, pulled back towards the lows, and now it's still sideways. So flags can break out or they can break down. So I would like to see it come break out 354, 355 area. You know, you could just imagine back on this flag, very clear flag, if you simply bought at the breakout, you were never down on the trade. So wouldn't necessarily just do that, but maybe anticipating the breakout and buying into these dips is okay too. Maybe double up on the breakout, risk break even, and swing for a few days is kind of a nice idea. Take a look at Nvidia. Yeah, Nvidia looks weaker than Tesla, but still technically a flag. It's not my favorite kind of flag. It's one of those cone-shaped structures. Yeah, we'll see how bad that news is, because that could drop everything in the big caps. We'll have to see. I do see this trend line right here being tested on Nvidia. Pretty obvious trend line. Looks like it's broken. That must be the UTL you're talking about. So pretty massive fail on that trend line. Not really looking good for Nvidia. But still, it could still be a flag. It could still hold up. And one of the things that happens is it takes out the low before it goes higher. So right before it goes higher, that's what they, them like to do. So if it reclaims that trend, we're back on. But currently looking very, very weak. Let's take a look at PLTR. Yeah, this looks like a failed breakout on this bigger picture time frame. pushed over the breakout level twice, even with a higher high, and now it's looking weak. So maybe it's time for a pullback. I don't know. Hopefully, I would like to see things consolidate more and then just go higher. But it's breaking all the trends that I can see. Just generally not great. So let me show the trade from yesterday. This was really nice. Officially green on the week after yesterday. I fumbled on Monday. So this is just a chill, easy kind of gap and crap trade. All the eyeballs were on other things. This one faded all day, so the end of day cover was the best. I'm trying really hard to beat the end of day cover because it's just so silly, and I don't think it should work as good as it does, but it works so good. So clearly, could have just held that to end of day. A lot of times these do reclaim, so it seems like taking a dip somewhere is going to be better than end of day most of the time. So I've been testing this idea, and I'm starting to beat the end of day cover just because a lot of times these reclaim. So this one ended up fading all day. So if it doesn't hit my target, I will simply hold all day. If it hits my target, I just take the dip. And I kind of called this one a little bit early. Really, what happened here, I had a limit order sitting right around here. So this little wick around 11:30 went through my limit order, but it didn't fill me. So I was kind of annoyed about that. And on this chart, I don't know. It seems like the TOS chart had a bigger dip on it. So yeah, let me look at the TOS chart. Maybe it was just a data difference in the data. I don't know. Usually the TOS data is pretty good. But yeah, it looks like the TOS chart has a bigger wick than the DAS trader chart. Interesting. So anyways, that's what I saw. I saw this wick down. I had my limit sitting at 378, and it went down to about 372. Didn't give me my fill. So I was kind of annoyed that I had a chance to get out, but then it didn't give it to me. So I just got out for 15%. Not too bad. But the end of day cover was 25%. Pretty incredible. So IMNN continuing to push here in pre-market. This looks like it's going to be the crowded short of the day. I do not short the top. I really try not to short tops because they just keep going a lot of times. So I'm not a huge fan of shorting this one here. I'd love to see it go to $4. That would be best case scenario. I doubt it's going to do it. But we might just let that one be and go after something more chill. Let's see what we have though. Potentially INEO, but it's not up enough. LTRY, if it fails breakout, looks like it's going to be a breakout setup. We might have a long today. Let's see. ASST. Oh wow, SYTA is getting crushed. Dang it. Looks like they might have an offering on it. SYTA. This was going to be a short opportunity too. Here it is. Okay, they may resell up to 11 million common shares worth $12 million under existing equity line of credit. So offering amount of $12 million out of 18 million original. Average price of $1.64 a share. So we just have to be careful because even if there's an offering, you don't want to get edibled. Edible had announced an offering over here on the 21st in pre-market. So huge drop there. But the shares are not registered, so they can't sell them yet. And it ended up bouncing right back up. And anybody who chased this down here because they did an offering, right? It's going to come down. Probably got squeezed out unless you're using wider risk. And then the thing went sideways all day. Eventually it did come down the following day. So if you stuck to it, risk pre-market high, which would be about 50% risk, you can then make 17%. The math doesn't quite work out for me. But I like this chart, and really this daily looks like a failed breakout yesterday, which is why I like the short for today. I like the short after failed breakouts. And really on the intraday, it's a lower high. So it really changes things a little bit. So it's sort of a middle of the road kind of play. I don't know. I don't really know what to do with it here. Depends how bad this offering is. I'm not really sure with the equity line and how bad that's going to be. Let me ask my assistant. All right, we'll check that out in a minute. 1 minute to the open. Focus up. Good luck, everyone. So yeah, SYTA coming all the way back up so far. LTRY pushing the breakout. I am in probably just a short right here. Probably. This will be the most crowded short this morning, but it could just come on down. LTRY. I should have just, I guess, bought that in pre-market. It's just straight up. SYTA above the offering level now and halted up. I am in and halted up. Little breakdown pullback on MLGO. Looks kind of nice. Well, IMNN just unhalted and halted down. I knew that one would be super crowded. Gonna try MLGO short. $244. This one's had some really nice fades in the past. All day fades. When they come down, it's just the end. Like this day. Back on the 13th. Very impressive fade. Again on the 7th. So if this is the top day, then it should come down really nice. IMNN back up to the highs. Very crowded. SYTA still bouncing out of that offering news. Just like Edible the other day. It's kind of a theme we're seeing is these companies do an offering, but it's not the end of the world kind of offering, and then things tend to bounce because there's just so many short sellers in this market that they're hitting everything that's up. And when there's an offering, especially, and the offering isn't that bad, then it tends to squeeze. Or if there's no selling pressure yet because of the offering. IMNN, honestly, looks like a short still, but it's just so crowded. It's the best short, so everyone's on it. Meanwhile, MLGO just working really nice so far. Wow, IONQ is up huge. This is a quantum stock. This had a massive breakout yesterday. Incredible. Let's see. IONQ aims to become the NVIDIA of quantum computing. But can they actually do it? Let's see. I mean, this could be the buy of a century, or you know, one of these multi-generational wealth builders. Quantum computing is a new thing. From what I looked into, though, it's about 10 years out from actually being viable for anything. But it does look like it's approaching a massive breakout on the daily. Right around 55 bucks is the breakout level. Now, I'm not sure why specifically it ripped yesterday. Let's see if there's some news other than they just want to be NVIDIA. Following CEO comments in a Barron's interview. So I guess that's the news. They just said we want to be the quantum computing version of NVIDIA. But they still have to prove it. So you can talk. And there's going to be a lot of quantum stocks that emerge. 99% of them will fail or more. So I don't know if there's any actual news. Just the CEO cheerleading. CEO says, we're in the business of quantum, just like NVIDIA and Broadcom is in the business of classical GPUs. I believe IONQ will be the NVIDIA player. So there will be other people that copy us and follow us. They have always copied us. So I guess that's the news. It's, just fluff mainly. But it ripped. The stock moved big time on that. GameStop. GameStop pushing $31, $32 today. Impressive move. Now this happened along with this IONQ move. So it seems like there's something else going on. LTRY failing already. Kind of weak. And the big mover of the day halted down now. It's halted down, it's halted up, it's halted down, it's halted up. Now it's halted down. MLGO looking good for the short. So you were watching IOQX yesterday. What is that one? IOQX. Or you mean IONQ? Yeah, that was a pretty impressive move. It looks like maybe a fund buying it or something, or some algos, or I'm not really sure. It just seems like they need an excuse to buy the stock and push it like this. So if they can explain it away by, yeah, you know, CEO went on the news, that's why it moved. It's not because we just bought 1 billion calls. Scotty swinging short MU at 92. Sick. Oh, I gotcha. Okay. IO and X. Nice job on an MU. I could see that. I could see it doing the gap fill move towards 86. P-Max out of nowhere. Up 88%, 90%. MLGO working out great. Seeing a lot of weakness now in small cap. I think IMNN is going to be sort of the leader of the day, so everything will pretty much follow this one's lead. Except MLGO, which usually just goes down. And IMNN is looking dead. But the super crowded ones can always do some wild stuff, so we'll keep an eye on it. Covered a third MLGO. Let's see what happens into this dip here. Oh, we have SSR coming up. I'm just going to take it there. All right, nice. So we're all out of MLGO, right around $2. It's like 17%-ish. Pretty happy with that. I wouldn't be surprised if MLGO just keeps going down. But whenever we get a sharp dip like that, I can't help myself. Thank you, thank you. The other target that is pretty tough to pass up is that dip below SSR. If it just comes below SSR just a little bit. So there's the executions. So I'll put that screenshot in Discord later. And it is bouncing back to 214 now. Thank you, thank you. Now we just need to 10x the size and we'll be good to go. IMNN coming back to the highs. This is why I like to avoid these super crowded stocks. All right, gonna call it there. Got to get going. I will throw that screenshot in the Discord later after this plays out some more. I want to see how it ends up. Still watching a couple things. LTRY, ASST, mainly. But good luck, everyone. Yeah, it's going to be a long weekend. No trading Monday. Enjoy the extra day off. What are you going to do with yourself? All right, have a good one. We'll be back Tuesday.